Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of Moments with Lulu. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you're subscribed so you're getting notifications whenever I put up a new video. For those of you who have been following me up until this moment, thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. It does really help to support my channel. Thank you so much. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the LPN versus the RN route or program, however it's called, and like the differences and the definitions of each. I'm also going to be talking about factors that might make one to consider the LPN versus the RN program or consider the RN versus the LPN program. And I just want to say that whatever I say in this video is based on my own personal opinion and my research as well. And I always encourage individuals to do their personal research because it's super important, because you are the one who is going to make the choice yourself at the end of the day. So please do not take everything you hear for face value, because you want to do your research and be confident in the information that you're getting. And I just want to say, like, not everyone might agree with whatever I say in this video, and I'm asking that even if you don't agree with my opinion, you just have to be respectful about my channel. And if there's any other thing you want to talk about, you can respectfully comment in the comment section of this video. Thank you so much. Actually, one of my subscribers asked me to make a video on this, and I decided to do some research and like throw more light on this area of RN, LPN, nursing school being had, and little more questions that I feel like I just had to fit into a video so that it can get to a larger audience. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So like I said, I'm going to be exploring the RN versus the LPN route, which is what it's, again, it depends on the individual whether to just go straight to LPN or to just go straight to RN. Everything has advantages and everything has disadvantages. These two, they both have their own individual advantages and their unique disadvantages as well. And I'm also going to be answering some questions about nursing school being difficult and whether you have to be smart to get into nursing school. Finally, I'm not making this video to say the LPN route is better than the RN route or the RN route is better than the LPN route. No, that's not what this video is about. I'm just making this video to, like I said, get to a large audience and give you some information that can help you make an informed decision. If you decide, or if you're wondering the difference between each of them, you can make your own decision at the end of the day. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the definition. So we need to know like the difference between LPN and RN. So LPN stands for licensed practical nurse, while RN is registered nurse. And so basically, in terms of their education, their scope of practice, their role in the clinical versus the community setting is so different. Like they have like their unique roles and their unique responsibilities as nurses. They are all nursing positions, they are all nurses as well, but they differ in their scope of practice, in their education concerning LPN. I know it's 2 years here in Canada. In the US, some 1 year or less than a year, but it all depends. But here in Canada, it's 2 years for the LPN program and 4 years for the RN program here. So the RN program is a bachelor's program, so bachelor's degree that you have to do in 4 years, while in the States sometimes it's like 2 years or 3 years. And I know in the States it's like they have the ADN versus the BSc, and that's so different. I'm talking about here in Canada anyways, which we just have two, LPN and RN, and LPN is 2 years and RN here is 4 years. So again, like I said, they both differ in their scope of practice. So an LPN definitely requires higher level of thinking and all that education in leadership, critical thinking, problem solving, however you like to address it or call it, but that is something that is specific to and unique to the RN role versus the LPN role, where they are more focused on skill, on tasks. Again, I'm not saying that the LPN cannot take up the leadership positions. There are opportunities for that, especially when it comes to long-term care setting where they have to make some decisions by themselves. So again, it also depends on where you're working. If it's in the hospital setting, the LPNs will be reporting to the RN, and because they'll be under the direct supervision of the RN and the physician. So it's very different in the hospital setting versus in the community versus in the long-term care. Like I said, if you want to know which option is best for you, you have to go in depth to do your own personal research. And another difference that I would say is in terms of specialization. So For the RN route, there's more, if you become an RN, there's more areas you can specialize in. You have a variety of opportunities versus just the LPN. Again, it's totally up to the individual because there's a variety of factors that will make one to consider going to be an LPN or going to be an RN, which we are going to dive into next. So let's talk about some factors that will require one to take the RN route versus the LPN route. For the RN route, one might want to go to school for 4 years because that's what they want, and some just want to do everything on the go. Versus if you go through the LPN route and you later decide to upgrade to an RN, that's you basically taking 2 board exams. So the LPN and the RN route, they have a board exam. So both are called NCLEX, but there's NCLEX for the RN and NCLEX for the LPN, which differ in their level of difficulty and more critical thinking on the RN side. So again, you still take board exam, you still become a nurse, but there's difference, like I said, in scope of practice, there's difference in pay, and there's difference in areas where you're able to specialize or work, like ICU, like more registered nurses are in the ICU. Second thing that might make one go for the RN program versus the LPN is cost, tuition cost. Again, going to school is not even easy, it's not cheap, depending on whether you're paying out of pocket versus receiving loans. Like I am in the RN program and I'm an international student, and it's not cheap at all. So again, versus being a domestic student, of course it's going to be way less than what I am going to be paying as an international student. But then again, cost is another thing you have to take into consideration, because the LPN route, like I said, is a 2-year program and definitely cheaper than the RN program. Again, some people have families, so family is something that people consider. So let's say you want to upgrade or something like that, or you're coming from your home country and you want to do something health related. Some people might want to be nurses, but then again, because of family and financial constraints, they might not be able to go straight to the RN route, so they just pick the LPN and then upgrade later when they've settled in and they've made enough money and they feel like it's the right time for them to go back to school with adequate financial and other support that they need to balance both school and family life. Yeah, so it all depends on the individual. Like I said, so many factors. Some people just want to be nurses quickly, so some take the LPN route first before the RN because they want to get a taste of what the profession entails or what the profession requires, because some people don't want to go to school and maybe spend 4 whole years in school and then realize that that's not what they really want to do. So some people just decide to do the LPN for 2 years and see how that fits, how they fit in the profession, and then they go on to upgrade to an RN. So it's totally up to the individual. There are different reasons why people choose to go through the RN versus the LPN route. It's not about the pay in most cases, it's not about that, but it's about what you want as an individual. Again, some people want to go for RN versus LPN who are really sure of that's what they really want to do, because the job growth for RN is growing. The job growth for nursing in general is growing, but the RN level seems to be higher in percentage compared to the growth level for the LPN. They are both growing, but they vary. And again, lots of hospitals want to hire more RNs because of their scope of practice, their increased scope of practice, and their level of thinking and that leadership role that they are prepared for while in school. I personally think the RN and the LPN routes are rewarding in their unique ways, because again, it's about the individual, what works for you, what you think is the best decision for you at one point in your life does not mean that that's going to remain the best decision for you forever. So again, you might want to start out as an LPN and upgrade to an RN and then get your master's, do your nurse practitioner and so on, and keep going. At the end of the day, you know what you're going for. And personally for me, I don't think it's wise for me to go to an LPN program, because thinking about it, I came here for a 4-year degree and it's not very practical. It's not realistic for me to do the LPN route and then upgrade to the RN. I feel like that's a waste of resources, especially when it comes to finances, and just knowing that I'm an international student and it doesn't add up for me to go to an LPN school and then go to upgrade to RN. No, I feel like it's going to be really stressful. So why not just do the whole 4 years once and for all and know like that's what I'm going to pay out of pocket and get done with it. Respect people's choices, respect their opinions, and respect whatever route they want to do. Because tomorrow, if you look at it, it doesn't really matter what kind of nurse you are, like whether you're an RN or an LPN or where you work, but it's more like your years of experience that really counts down the line and what you're able to show for it. So even if I graduate tomorrow as an RN, I still look up to LPNs because, like I said, years of experience, they've learned a lot. Some don't want to upgrade for personal choices, and that there's nothing wrong with their decision. You're all working in the same job. It's just like different scope of practice. Everyone has something to bring to the table, and never undermine someone else's scope of practice or a level of education. Like, do not do that, because you learn with and from each other at the end of the day. It should be a collaborative effort. And now, is the LPN program worth it? From all these things I've mentioned, it's up to you as an individual to decide, do I really want to do the LPN program? Do I want to go to school for 2 years? Do I want to come out quickly and start working as a nurse? Do I want to go through the stress of upgrading? All those questions you should ask yourself, and then you'll be able to answer if the LPN route is worth it or not. And then also, should I just go straight to the BSN or the LPN program? All of these I've mentioned will also help you to make that decision. Plus, your own personal research is something you should not forget about. Someone asked me if you have to be smart to go into nursing school. I don't know how to answer that question, but in my own opinion, it's no. Yeah, I say no. I don't think one has to be smart to go into nursing school. I don't know one's definition of smart. My own definition of smart might differ from someone's definition of smart, but I don't think you have to be smart to go into nursing school, because it doesn't work like that. If you've gotten all the 90s and the 80s and the 60s and the 50s and the 100s in high school, it doesn't really determine the kind of nurse you'll be or what your grades or what your excellence in your university degree or higher degrees will look like. No. People might have been having 50s, 60s, failing some courses in their high school, but then they enter university and there's just this sudden, I don't know what to call it, but you don't have to be smart for nursing school. Being smart doesn't really mean that you can be a nurse, because there's so many things that entails nursing. Personally, I feel like it's more about your mind, like you're making up your mind, like this is what I want to do. I'm going to work towards it. I'm going to be dedicated. I'm going to be consistent. It's you. It has nothing to do with being smart or not being smart. So I'm going to say that you don't have to be smart to get into nursing school. Everything can be learned as long as an individual makes up their mind. So if someone says you have to be smart to get into nursing school, don't even listen to them. You just have to be dedicated, consistent. Everything can be learned at any point in one's life. You don't need to listen to what people have to say about, oh, if you're getting older, this one, that one, you can't go back to school. All those are rumors that are even non-existent. Don't pay attention to those things, because once you start paying attention to those things, you forget what you actually want. So they are more like side distractions that should never even have been there in the first place. And speaking from an individual level, whatever you choose, LPN or BSN route, I strongly encourage you to make your wise decision. If you want to go for the RN route, please do go for it. If you have the resources, if you have the time, the finance, like if you have the ability to go for the RN route, go for it. Like, again, it depends on the individual. But if someone should ask for my honest opinion, LPN versus the RN route, which will you go for? So basically, which will I go for? I'm definitely going to pick the RN route as long as I have the resources, the time. I don't have any responsibilities. I don't have any financial pressure. My dad is the one supporting me in school. So yes, that's enough reason for me to take the RN route. I wanted to be a nurse until the day of my application for the university degree program. Yeah, like nursing was never what I wanted to do in my whole life, but my story, and that's something I'll talk about in future videos. But the reality is that I never wanted to be a nurse. But yeah, that brings me to the end of today's video. If you have any other questions or any other thing you're curious about, feel free to let me know in the comment section of this video. Like I said before I started this video, please be respectful of my opinion. If there's something you don't agree with, you can respectfully communicate that in the comment section of this video. I look forward to engaging with you all. And if you've not subscribed to my channel and you're still watching me up to this moment, please make sure to click the subscribe button, because it has to be great if you actually subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see next week or in future, and I'll be sure to have them all out. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.